Hey there, and thank you for joining us for this webinar on CRM from your inbox. And just let me fix my camera here. My name's John Carini. I'm broadcasting today from my home due to COVID in Chatham, New Jersey. And I'd first off like to thank you all for joining us. There is the ability to ask questions during the webinar. And if you do have questions, please put them in the YouTube comments section, and I will attempt to address each and every one of them. I'll also put up my email address, which is sales@ienterprises.com at the end, so you can contact me directly if you like as well. So without further ado, I'll get started. So this webinar again is on CRM from your inbox. I'll start off with a few slides and then we'll get right into live demos, and I'll show you how to use Salesforce, Dynamics, or our own ICRM right from your inbox. So just a little bit about the company first. We've actually been around for more than 20 years. And ever since the beginning, believe it or not, we've been delivering CRM as part of email and calendar. And the first product we created actually was an integration of that, and we've been working on it ever since and making it better and better. We've won all sorts of awards. We actually have OEM relationships, which means some of the larger vendors actually sell our products under their names, companies such as Oracle and some others. We have an office here in the United States, as well as Europe and Asia. And we've been in CRM and specifically the email integration of CRM all this time. So here's some of the awards we've won over the years. Very proud of them. And here's our customers. And these obviously are some of the larger ones, but our product lines are used by both large and small customers. But you can see there's some real big brand names that use our products. So, one thing that often happens is CRM fails, right? I hate to say it, I'm in the CRM business, but it's true. And that happens for several reasons. And it's usually one of the items that's listed on the screen. It's hard to use, time consuming. There's lots of data entry, requires tons of training, dual entry. Bottom line is it's usually lack of adoption. Sometimes it requires an army of consultants too to get the thing set up. But at the end of the day, it's typically lack of adoption. And I believe that using CRM from your inbox inside Gmail or inside Outlook solves these problems. It makes it easy to use because you're just using it while you're using your email. It saves time. It's super simple. It automates data entry, so there's no dual entry. And basically, you're using the same workflow as email, so there's very little training, and actually will help you set it up, so you don't have to hire an army of consultants. At the end of the day, it results in easy adoption and usually CRM success. So I would not put a CRM in place that wasn't tightly integrated with your inbox and with your calendar. It just isn't a good practice. I've been doing this for 20 years. Trust me, it's true. Okay, so before we get into the live demo, I'll cover some of the main features. So basically, we show we inside of Gmail and Outlook, we show Salesforce.com or Microsoft Dynamics or our own CRM. We also support Oracle and Sugar, soon NetSuite as well. So we support quite a number of applications. Basically, we bring it inside of Gmail and Outlook. We also have kind of a legacy product that handles Lotus Notes, and that's how long we've been doing this. And we provide a 360-degree view of your customer information right from your inbox. You can save emails to the CRM, and you can save them not only against contacts or leads, but against opportunities and other objects in the CRM, as well as custom objects. And then if your corresponding with someone new, it actually helps you create the lead inside the CRM right from email. And it has some LinkedIn integration there as well, where it actually pulls the name and job title from LinkedIn. And not to confuse things, but we actually have yet another product that works on LinkedIn.com. And if I have a minute, I'll show you that. Basically, that helps you create leads right from LinkedIn. And there's also a background sync as well. So you have this user interface, which I'll demo in just a second. And in addition, there's a background sync that lets you sync everything up automatically if you so desire. And then it really works the same way in the calendar. While you're inside your Gmail, Google Calendar, or Outlook calendar, we show all the related CRM information, and you can use the CRM while you're in your inbox or your calendar. So why are we better? There's other products on the marketplace, but we believe ours is the best. It's a full-featured, flexible solution that actually is configurable, but it basically detects the configuration of your CRM automatically and renders your CRM inside of your inbox automatically with all the custom fields and customizations you've put in your CRM. So it's full featured, super flexible. This is really important. It's not a Chrome extension. So most other products install Chrome extensions, which are buggy. They only work in Chrome. Ours actually installs in the cloud, either the Google Cloud or the Outlook Cloud, and it works in any browser if you're using a browser. If you're using Outlook, it works in any Outlook client, including Mac, and really anything that Microsoft supports. So basically, it's a native integration, right? It uses something called the Google add-on in Gmail and an add-in, it's called in Outlook, which is a native integration. It's not something that needs to be installed on every PC. It installs in the cloud. You can roll it out to everyone all at once for your whole company in a single click. And we charge only for the users you need. So if you want to purchase from us, and I'll put the pricing slide up later, we're very transparent. It lets you purchase only the ones you need. You don't have to buy for everyone. And basically, it lets you use your CRM from email. And there's just one price. We don't upsell you. We don't pull that, you bought this, now a week later you want tires on your car, that costs more. We do not do that. We have one price for the whole thing, and we don't try to upsell you at every juncture. Just one slide on our own CRM product. So our own CRM product is called ICRM, and it obviously competes with Salesforce.com and Dynamics and the others. And basically, the email integration comes with ICRM. Also, our social insights, the unlimited LinkedIn leads that I mentioned, comes with ICRM. And the price for ICRM is actually $30 a month. If you sign an annual contract, and $35 if you sign up monthly. And just so you know, that the connectors for Salesforce and the other CRMs, they cost $15 a month. So basically, like, you're getting everything for this one low price. And again, we won't upsell you. That's the price for ICRM, and that's it. Okay. Okay, let's get into the live demo. Just give me one sec here, and I will get that going. So I will start off in Gmail, okay? And basically, to get this thing installed in Gmail, you click this Get Add-ons, search for the Salesforce connector, and install it. And once it's installed, if it's Salesforce, it shows here as this little icon on the right-hand side. And if I click to open the icon, in this case, it's Salesforce. And then this little icon is our ICRM, our own CRM product. Here's the one for Dynamics. And as I mentioned, here's the one for Sugar, and there's some others as well. So when I open it up, If I don't have a conversation selected, it just gives me what's going on today in Salesforce.com, all my tasks. I can create a new task. I can log a call if I'm making a phone call here. I can actually go in and search for Salesforce.com records. Shows me my recently viewed contacts from or records from Salesforce, I should say. So I could click on any one of these and see details about it and so on. So that's what happens when nothing's selected. But then if I select an email message like this one from James Person, who has interest in my products, you can see the message opens, and then on the right-hand side, it goes out and it fetches information about the person that sent the message from Salesforce.com. So in this case, James Person is actually found in Salesforce.com, and it displays the important information about James, including the company he works for, his phone number, his email, and I can see more. There's his job title and so on. And then I have these options. What do I want to do with this email message? So I can just click once here and add the email to Salesforce.com against James Person, and I'm just going to do that. So one click, and bingo, this message is added to Salesforce.com, and it's tracked there, if you will. So you can see now it's been added, or I could alternately link it to another object in Salesforce. So in this case, it saved it against the contact, James Person, that it found in Salesforce. But alternately, I could link it to an opportunity or something else, a custom object even, anything I want. And I'll show you how that works real quick. So if I click this link, it pops up and it actually shows the opportunities for this company by default, but I could search for other opportunities, or I could link it to a trouble ticket, a case, even a custom object, as you can see, and save it against that. So I just went back to the main screen here. There's one other option about what you can do with this message right here, and that's to mark the thread. So if you mark the email thread, what happens is it will save this message to Salesforce.com, but then any additional messages or replies that come in from this thread will just automatically get saved in the background. And there's yet another way to save the messages, and that's with automatic sync. And if you turn on automatic sync, you don't even have to click these buttons. It'll just save every email against a contact or lead in Salesforce.com if that contact or lead exists. Again, if you do have questions, the comments section in YouTube is where you can put them. I'm happy to answer any questions. Those are the basic options for saving emails, right? But you can do a lot more too. So if I keep on scrolling down, you'll see it has has the LinkedIn profile for the person that sent this message that's clickable, other social media links for this person, and then it shows everything related to this contact from, in this case, it's from Salesforce.com, right? Including opportunities, cases, and even custom objects. So anything related to this contact. If it were a lead, it would show anything created or anything related to the lead. And maybe they emailed me and the email says they're very interested in my product. So if I want, I can actually add an opportunity from here by just clicking this plus sign, and you can see here, it basically opens the opportunity form, and I can fill it out and save a new opportunity in Salesforce.com for this contact right from here. Or another common occurrence would be if somebody actually has a problem, they might email you about that problem, and you might want to create an issue or a case, trouble ticket, whatever you want to call it. You can click the little plus sign here, and it'll actually create a case in Salesforce.com out of this message, right? And it automatically pulls in the message itself. Oftentimes in the message, there'll be a description of the problem and maybe some screenshots or whatever, and it pulls that in. If you save it, it automatically saves to Salesforce.com. So I'm still here in the sidebar. I scrolled up. I'll explore some other things. One thing is, let me just prove to you that this message is indeed in Salesforce.com. So I'll click this little open button here next to the message, and then what it does is it opens it on the side by default. But if I want, at any time, I can just open I can open things up in the full Salesforce.com screen. So I will do that. I click on that open and full screen. It transports me to Salesforce.com, and it shows me that this message is indeed in Salesforce.com. So some other features that are nice in terms of opening in a full screen. So when I open the message, I'm back here at the beginning. When I open a message, again, it finds the person that sent the message in Salesforce. If I want, I can actually open this contact right here in the sidebar, similar to the way I just opened that email message that was saved. And you can see it shows me all the details from this contact. I can actually edit this information right here. If I click the edit button, you can literally search for and edit everything in Salesforce.com right from here. And all the custom fields and required fields and everything are supported, right? So however Salesforce is set up, you can do it. It'll just automatically happen here. So here's the contact. I can edit it and save it if I like. I'll just go back. Or maybe like I would prefer to edit contacts in a full screen. So I can open the contact in a full screen right here, and it takes me to Salesforce, that contact inside of Salesforce.com. This is handy too. Like, let's say somebody emails you and you want to get an overview of what's going on with the account. You can see it obviously in the sidebar, but then you can also open it in a full screen if you want more real estate. So going back to my inbox here, maybe what I'll do is I will switch to Outlook for just a second, but it basically works the exact same way in Outlook and Gmail. So for those of you that are on that use Outlook, I'll switch to Outlook really quick, and I'm going to open a different message. Here, it's again from James Person, right? And this is how it looks in Outlook. Basically, to get it, you click the Get Add-ins here, right? And you search for the Salesforce connector if it's Salesforce, or you can search for ICRM if that's what you're interested in, and then install it, and it'll ask you to authenticate with Salesforce or whatever CRM you're using. I recommend that once it's set up, you pin it. You see this little pin up here, and what that does is then anytime you open a message, it will just automatically show your CRM information in the sidebar. But it works exactly the same way here. It's a little different user interface, but I have the same options. If I want to log this email, I just click Add, and bingo, it's logged. So I did. Somebody's asking a question now. I'm going to show ICRM in just a second, so hang on there. And then there's another question from Natick. This is a really good question. What are the possible downsides of using the automatic sync? So by default, the automatic sync syncs everything where the email, whoever sends you the email, if the email address matches a lead or a contact in Salesforce.com, it will save it. But you can put rules in to omit certain emails. So oftentimes companies will put rules in that omit, for example, their own email domain, so internal messages don't get saved in Salesforce. And I think the biggest downside of automatic sync is that there's too much clutter. Like there's sometimes just some important messages you want saved, and for those you can just click this button like we did before and save only the important ones. And then another issue could be that there's things that get saved that you just don't want to. I guess they're kind of the same things. Obviously, there's rules to set that up. I kind of like just clicking the one button and saving it, the ones I want. It's not that hard. You open the message, it gives you all this good information on the right-hand side about this person in your CRM. and then you can just click, if the message is important, just click to save it. But it's really up to you. So that's, I hope that helped. Asking a follow-up question if you have more questions. So what I'll do now is I'm going to go back to Gmail, if you don't mind, and then I'm going to open ICRM instead of Salesforce, and you'll see that it works exactly the same way. Again, ICRM is our own CRM product, and when you buy it, it includes the email integration in the price of the product. You don't have to pay extra for it, right? And includes everything. We sell it for one price. We include everything, everything we got it for that one price. That's it. So you can see here, if I open an email message, it pretty much works the same way with ICRM. I can just click to add this message, and bingo, the message is added to ICRM. I can also link it to other objects. And just so you can see what ICRM looks like, I'll open this message, and then just like I did with Salesforce, I'll do an open in full screen, and you can see this message is indeed in ICRM. And ICRM is a full-featured application. It has custom objects and custom fields that are pretty much unlimited. And basically, if you're interested in ICRM, you can go to the you can start, if you're using Gmail, you can start by clicking plus here to get add-ins, right? And then I'll just show it to you. Here's ICRM, right? There's over 70, almost 72,000 people using it, and install it that way, and it'll install the whole CRM package. And then if you decide to sign up for us, you get a trial by doing that. But if you decide to sign up with us, we'll actually help you get the product set up, including some data import including data import and other and configuration and all that. We don't want you to hire an army of consultants, and instead we help you get it set up as part of any paid subscription. So yeah, if somebody's asking regarding outgoing emails, yeah, so if I go to my sent, you'll see, like, if I go into one of these emails, it's kind of the same thing. I can just add sent messages as well. But the automatic sync is nice for that too, for the sent messages, because you don't have to act on them. Okay, so let me show one other use case, and then I'll try to show it on mobile as well, and then we'll get going. So another use case is that the two main use cases are, somebody sends you an email that's already in the CRM, and we saw how that works. But if somebody sends you an email and they're not in the CRM yet, then it helps you add them for existing, for example. So let me cover that, and I see there's another question. I'll get to it, I promise. That's from Chase. Just give me one sec. So here I got an email from Bill Gates, and he's a good friend of mine, but he's not in my CRM, and hopefully he's not on a rocket ship or anything like all these other people like him. But you can see it says, in this case, it's ICRM, works the same way with Salesforce. It says Bill is not in ICRM. It gives me the opportunity to add Bill as either a contact or a lead into the CRM. And it also shows some social media links, right? So you can see Bill's LinkedIn profile, for example, and I can just click it to open it, as well as his other social media profiles. So if I want, I can just click this little plus sign, and bingo, it will add Bill to ICRM in this case. And you can see here that it pulled in his job title and the company name from LinkedIn, which is way cool. And at the end, I'll actually show our new LinkedIn product just really quick, just so you guys have a feel for how that works too. So somebody's asking about a meeting in Outlook. Let me put it on the screen. If you create a meeting in Outlook, will it sync with Salesforce? So yes, and there's basically two ways to do it. So one way is in Outlook. If you go to the calendar, it works exactly the same way. Like if I open a calendar item, I can then, in the case of Salesforce, I can then just I have to connect it again, but I can then just save it to Salesforce. But you know what? It might be good to see how the connection works. I guess I didn't connect my calendar before this, so I apologize for that. But here you go. It found, in this case, that this message was from Kristen, and it found this person in Salesforce, and I can log the event just like I logged the email. So, or link it to an opportunity or whatever else. So it works exactly the same way in the calendar in both Outlook and Gmail. This happens to be Outlook, but something I like, and I'm somebody just asked about the automatic sync too, but something I do like is I like syncing the calendar automatically, and that is an option. So you can turn on the automatic sync for the calendar, but not automatically sync the emails. And that's an option, and I kind of like that, because what it'll do is any calendar item that where like the invitee is a customer or a lead will automatically sync to Salesforce. And of course, if you want, you can add it manually, just like we saw, right? And it doesn't have to be added to the person it detected. You could click this link button, right? And again, it's linking to opportunities, but if I want, I could just link it's just some random contact, maybe that it's about a customer, but it's an internal meeting, for example. You could, the invitees would be internal, but then you could link it to the customer manually, right? So you could save it that way. But if automatic sync for calendars turned on, the thing I really like is that when you create calendar items in your CRM, they'll just automatically come to your Outlook or your Google Calendar. And that'll happen in the background pretty much automatically, and you can set it up so that if you wanted, you could make it one way too. So you could say, I want to sync everything from the Salesforce.com calendar to my Outlook, and it'll do, and not the reverse. Or you could do both, two-way. It's up to you. But I really like syncing the calendar items automatically, if you will. So I will. Thank you very much, Chase. That was a really good question. So again, any other questions, please ask. So I jumped out of that real quick. So I was in ICRM. We had created Bill Gates as a contact. So you can see those are the two use cases. I am going to try to show you something on mobile really quick. So that's going to take me a second. So I apologize. Okay. Okay, and then it's going to be on my real, this is my real iPhone here. So I'm going to go into let me go in there on my iPhone first. Okay. I'm going to, just give me 1 second. I apologize. Oh, here we go. All right, so let me mirror my screen. All right, so here's my iPhone, and you can see here's a message I received, and very similar to Gmail and Outlook. This is the Gmail, in this case, this is the Gmail mobile app. Instead of on the right-hand side, the little icons for the add-ons are at the bottom. And if I click on one of those, it opens up ICRM on the bottom, if you will, in this case. Give me one more sec. Okay, so, and you can pretty much do everything from the mobile as well. So hopefully that gives you an idea of how it works. I just needed to authenticate to make that one work. So that's the basic overview. Any more questions? Does it work with Salesforce Classic? Another great question. So yeah, I should have mentioned that. Thanks for reminding me. Yes, it does. The whole thing is really API based, right? It uses the Salesforce Web Services or REST API. And uh, and that and that means it's all done in the background, right? So it really doesn't matter if you use Lightning or Classic; everything happens in the background, right? And by the way, we're whitelisted by Salesforce, so that means even if you don't have API access, maybe you just have the professional version of Salesforce, or you have the what's the really small one, the group version or something. The API will still work for our product because we are whitelisted by Salesforce. Also, there's API limits. They are not imposed for our product. They don't count towards your API limits because we're whitelisted from by Salesforce. So yes, it does. It does work. It does work with Classic and Lightning. I should have mentioned that. Someone's asking, what's the difference between this and Sirius? Jake, so the big difference is the architecture. So the architecture of our product, if you're using Gmail, we're using an add-on, which means it's, and if you're using Outlook, we use an add-in. And that means it lives in the Google Cloud. It's really a native application inside of Gmail, so that in this case, or inside of Outlook, and that means it works in any browser. It's not installed in a Chrome extension on your little desktop right here. It's installed actually in this case in the Google Cloud. And that means it'll work in any browser like Edge and Safari or Chrome because it's not a Chrome extension. It also means it'll be much more reliable, more lightweight, and then it has the mobile piece, which I know none of the others do because Chrome extensions don't work on mobile. So that's some of it. It's also cheaper, right? And it includes, we have these like social media integrations as well, which I know Insights doesn't have. We have some other advanced features too. If you really want to get into a feature war, like you can, I really like, let me show you the reply with email template. I actually like this on mobile, especially. Someone sends you an email and it's asking for product information. You can reply with the template, for example, pick a template, right? Create the reply, and the message can come from ICRM in this case, or it could come from Salesforce. Populates all this stuff for you. And on mobile, this is awesome, right? Because you can't put links easily in mobile and all that. And then we have like advanced options too, where you can track opens and things like that too. So you can actually track opens and sorry, this was an ICRM. Track opens and insert the tracker, right? And then it'll notify you when they open and all that. So it's got tons and tons of features. But again, the key difference is that between this and really all the other products that are out there, is, as far as I know, we're the only ones that use native add-ons for Gmail or add-ins for Outlook. I hope that helps, and I just think you'll have a much better experience using these native add-ons and add-ins, if you will, than with Chrome extensions. Okay, so if there's any other questions, please put them in there. I'm going to spend like 2 minutes showing you our new product, which works in LinkedIn, and then I'm going to wrap up. I'll show you pricing and all sorts of other things at the end here. So if I go into LinkedIn, and for example, if this is one of the guys from Shark Tank, right? And if I install Social Insights for Salesforce, which this is actually in the Chrome Web Store, this particular piece only works in Chrome. It's a separate product called Social Insights. It actually there's like an email portion to it too, but this is the main part of it. Basically, you open up any LinkedIn profile, and it tells you if that, in this case, this is connected to Salesforce, but it is included with ICRM, and you want to add somebody as a contact or a lead in Salesforce. This is a famous person, right? They're probably trying to hide their real email address. I can click Add as Lead, right? And it gets some information from LinkedIn, right? And then I know he works for this Hergovic group, right? Okay, this is like his company name, right? And sometimes it'll just get the work email automatically, but other times you have to put in the company website, which I just did, and you can see it actually found his work email address from using artificial intelligence, and now I can save this as a lead in Salesforce.com. Basically, you can go to any LinkedIn profile and do this. It's better than LinkedIn Navigator, which costs a fortune because it gets the work email address. Most people put in the contact information in LinkedIn, they put their personal email address. This actually gets the work email address. You can save that as a contact. So that's a new product. Love any feedback you might have on that product. And what I'll do is I'll wrap up. I'll show a few more slides. If you do have questions, I'm still here, but basically an overview, like if you want one of the connectors for Gmail or Outlook, you can, for Gmail in this case, you go to the Google Marketplace. So you just click the little plus sign on the right side of Gmail for that, search for either ICRM or Salesforce connector. It's the only one there that's a native add-on. It can be deployed in mass. So for Gmail, if you're the Gmail admin, you can install it for the whole domain. And if you purchase it for more than one user, it'll automatically provision. It also works on mobile, as I mentioned before, in both the iOS and Gmail app. With regards to Outlook, you can download it from Microsoft App Source, but the best way to get it is to do Get Add-ins from Outlook. So click on the Get. I'll show Outlook real quick. If I go back here, you click on the Get Add-ins button, search for it that way. And then again, this is a native add-in for Outlook. Works in any version of Outlook. Also, if you use the web version in Chrome, Edge, or Safari, or whatever browser you're using, it just works. And you can deploy this in mass. So if you have your own Exchange server, you can do it that way, and we can give you instructions for that. So here's the pricing. Drum roll. So I mentioned it's $14.95 for any of the connectors, and that is per user per month. If you buy annually, it's $12.95 paid annually in advance per month per user, if you will. There are volume discounts if you do have groups of users. Please just email me. I'll give you my email in a second, and we'll give you pricing. Anyway, and then iEnterprise CRM, which again includes all the connectors, right? That's basically $30 a user a month, and bought annually, and it's $34.95 per user per month bought monthly. It includes the connectors for either Gmail or Outlook. It's actually both, and it also includes social insights, which the connector shows some social media links, but social insights is the thing that lets you browse, that I just showed, that lets you browse LinkedIn and add any LinkedIn profile as a lead or a contact in LinkedIn. That costs $14.95 per user per month, or $9.95 if you do an annual commitment per user per month. Basically, you get unlimited leads from LinkedIn, as many as you can go to and click on, you can add. Again, ICRM includes both social insights and the connector, which basically add up to the the whole price of ICRM. So if you're interested in switching from Salesforce or something else to ICRM, please shoot us an email. We'd love to help you. But if you're looking at the connector for either Salesforce or one of the other CRMs, please try it out and ask any questions you might have. There's another question in here. If you could just email it to me, I'd appreciate it, because I kind of need to wrap up. And here's my personal, or really my work email address, right? jcarini@ienterprises.com. Also sales@ienterprises.com works. And I'll even pick up the phone if you call me, just like in the old days. So please feel free to reach out. And again, here's my contact information one more time. There's the sales@ienterprises.com email address. I really do appreciate your time and your questions today. They were very good. Any further questions, again, just email me, and have a fantastic day. Thanks so much for joining us.